Good morning, students. You have been working so hard at writing your bucket filler book, and today's a big day. Today's the day we're going to publish your book. We're going to put all the pages together and then read it. Sound like fun? Okay, let's get started. So, there are different ways you can publish it. I have a small version of my book here, and I have all the pages. I have the cover, and I have the first page I wrote, and the second page, and the third page, and the fourth page. I'm going to take my papers and do tap, 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 tap. I'm just going to use a staple on the side. I can staple on the side. I can staple on the top. I want to make sure I can read my words. For this book, I'm going to staple across the top to publish my book. Just going to pinch the staple. And you might need to ask your grown-up or a caregiver or a big brother or sister to help you do this part. And that's okay. So now I have all my pages together so I can read it to somebody. Another way you can publish your book or put all the pages together, I'm going to use some glue and I'm going to use it on my big copy here. And I'm going to start backwards. I'm going to start with my last page. I'm going to put some glue on the side here. We call this the margin. So I'm going to put some glue down the side. Let's put it on the side. Put it on the side. And then I'm going to take the next page and put that right on top of it. Put that right on top so they stick. Might want to smooth it out a little bit there. Oh, I just lost Flat Mr. Stanley, Mr. Flat Stanley. And I'm going to put glue here down the margin on this side. And I'm going to take the next page and lay that right on top. Make sure I kind of line those up. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my glue, go all the way down the side of the margin. And I'm going to take my cover now and put that on top. So now my book is finished. I have published it. I made we call this part the spine of the book. The spine is a part that is the side of your book. This is the front cover, and the side is the spine. The back cover, my back cover is kind of plain. So I showed you two ways how you can publish your book. You can staple it, and I stapled mine across the top, or you can go down the side. Or you can use glue and glue it on the margin on the left-hand side of your book. So now that my book is published, and you can also use paper clips to publish your book, to bind it. When you put the book together, you're binding it. I binded the top of this book with staples. I binded this book with glue. You can bind it with paper clips. You can bind it with tape. You can bind it with any materials you think that might work so it sticks, so the book stays together and it's like a book. So it opens like a book. So I'm done publishing my book, and so now I'm going to read it to somebody. And I think I'm going to read it to Flat Mr. Stanley. Okay? So I'm going to read it to Flat Mr. Stanley. I'm going to put him here at the top of this book. We'll just kind of have him balanced there. And I'm going to read him my book. You can read him your book too. Should I get a little closer? I don't know. Flat Mr. Stanley. Now I'll put him here. I might just hold him. Then I'll turn the page. So, Bucket Fillers by Mr. Stanley. I'm going to turn the page. And I'm going to read the next page to him. A bucket filler can pick up trash. Why, yes they can, Flat Mr. Stanley says. I'm going to turn the page. And read it to Flat Mr. Stanley. Bucket fillers are helpful. And I'm going to turn the page and read in my last page. Bucket fillers can say kind words. Wow, Mr. Stanley, that was a great book about bucket fillers. So today, friends, we learned how to bind our book. I binded my book with staples at the top. I binded this book with glue. And I read my book to Flat Mr. Stanley. Your job today is to publish your book, to bind it, put it together, and read it to somebody. You can read it to a favorite stuffed animal. You can read it to Flat Mr. Stanley. You can read it to somebody in your family. And make sure you record yourself reading your book to somebody. I can't wait to hear you read your book to somebody, and I can't wait to see your published books. Get to work.